Hello. Can people hear that? That's wild. Fly me to the moon. Let me climb the star. Oh, damn it. It's gonna be one of those nights, isn't it? Whatever. Hey, Rainbow! Yes, I'm finally live. Give me like 1 minute. I'm just posting stuff. 1 second. We will be talking. Hey, Lynn. Good to see you. 1 second. Give me a sec. I'm just posting in places. Okay. Howdy, howdy, ho! How's it going, yo? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. So, funny story. Well, vaguely funny. Part of the reason I was kind of procrastinating on streaming was that if you see in the background here, my chair is broken. And I finally, and I've been wanting to go downtown and get a new one for a while. No, God, no. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Lynn is in my D&D group. And the premise by the way, you fell off. No, not yet. This is a very old one, but the key is I'm not afraid to lean back in this and the entire chair will collapse. Uh, but yeah, I know, but we had to move on. We were going in different places, and it's just died. It was just died. Um, but yeah, so yeah, it was broken. So I was scared to sit in it. Yeah, Lynn is my D&D group. I'm the DM, and we play with a few people. Yeah. So I'm just. Yippee. Yeah. Yeah. It's a very weird little game. Anyways, so you fell off. You guys were currently running away from a griff. You guys, they were currently on a griffin running away from a vampire. Who? Yeah, go ahead and tell. Anyway, Lynn, your guy fell off. So fell off somewhere on the griffin. So we'll have to figure that out. Oh no. What's the paper about? But fortunately, in my break, I've been doing. Maybe a little complicated for right now. Um, I've been doing a lot. Oh, Lynn, when you show Rainbow your drawing of Joe. Lynn is a great artist, by the way. Yeah, let me warm up a little bit before we do anything major. Uh, yeah, yeah, he's a divorced dad. He's a divorced dad, and his daughter. Yeah, his big plot is trying to reconnect with his daughter. It is funny that I'm older than Lynn, but I'm playing her daughter. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very weird experience. Anyways, yeah. Anybody watching the Olympics? I have. I've been watching. I've gotten very into them this year for some reason. I have a lot of opinions on. Uh, I have a lot of opinions on male figure skating now. Figure skating in general. Lynn. So what's your paper about, Lynn? Um, yeah. Why there was never a game theory for like tabletop role playing games is a crime, huh, Matt Pat? Honestly, that would sell. That would sell. That would sell like wild. Oh, I wish I was better at D&D. I wish I knew more about the D&D like lore and stuff because I'm not. What about you, Rainbow? Are you currently in any games at the moment? Playing anything? One of the nice things. Yeah, yeah. About one of the nice things about. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, eject. Ooh, fun. Yeah. I don't really follow the YouTube D&D scene as much. Um, I want to start. I'd love to start eventually. To do. Yes, it has, Crow. Yes, it has. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, that's very cute. Your dad is. That's sweet. That's very sweet. Your dad DMs for you. That's sweet. Yeah. I don't know this person. I'm very. It's going good, Crow. Um, okay, this is a real story. Um, I was at a filmmaker meetup in Houston a little while back, and there was MTV on the screen. Um, MTV was playing on the screen, and I was looking at it, and I was like, I couldn't figure out what the show. I was like, this show is so confusing to me. I've never heard of this show before, and I asked them like, do you guys know what this show is about? And the entire table looked at me, and they said, um, "That's a Sabrina Carpenter video." There was just a Sabrina Carpenter video on. So this weird show I was watching turns out to be a music video for Sabrina Carpenter, and let's see. It's going good, Crow. How's it been going with you? Uh, One of the popular ones, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm looking at. Oh, I have. I know this guy exactly. I know exactly who this guy is. I didn't. I just didn't know his name. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, yeah, I know him. I just. I just didn't remember. Yeah, he's very talented. Yeah, I like his stuff. He's very talented. I just didn't remember his name. Okay, tell me about the Goonaba. Yes, I know. So, oh, he's in it. He's oh, actually that's really cool. I've never heard. And he's playing a tabaxi. Really, that's fun. So is this like a LARP, or are they just doing D&D? Have you guys ever done LARPing? I've never tried it, but there's a part of me that's curious to do it one day. LARP? Do you know what LARPs are? If you, so what is it? The Goon. I've never heard of this. Oh, okay. So he. I mean, that sounds like what LARP is. What is this thing called? Ooh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Oh yeah, yeah, live. Yeah. Okay. And so, Crow, what are you doing? Tell me about it. Yeah, live action roleplay. Yeah, I've never done it. I've seen it. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's obviously it's a little bit more difficult to arrange, but if you think getting D&D to get. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Honestly, Rainbow, your idea for a campaign uh, sounds pretty interesting. So it's like they've totally forgotten who they are, and you kind of have to figure it out as you go along. That sounds cool. What is this? What is this? What is this? 1 second. Yeah. Oh. So are you doing actual tornado chasing, or is it video game tornado chasing? I like this idea. That's cool. Oh, explain this to me further. Okay. That sounds pretty cool. Cool, Rainbow. And do like the players like do their decisions decide their character and stuff? Carry on my wayward son. Yes. Yeah. We should go actual tornado. I think my mom would have a heart attack if we went tornado. If I went tornado chasing. Yeah, I've been following the Olympics this. She's doing good. She's actually doing really good. Me and her have been watching the Olympics and talking about it a lot. That's pretty much been our day-to-day lives at the moment. But she's doing really good. She is, yeah, she's doing fine. It's been, yeah. Um, yeah. Whereas, yeah. It's tragically it's nothing new to report. I wish I had big news, some big news coming out of the thing. I've gotten, I've done a lot of writing lately. Okay. Which has been pretty lovely. Um, Trade market, and hopefully I'll have something prepped in a couple of. I'll have something at least 1 or 2 drafts prepped by the end of like in like 2 weeks maybe. I think I can realistically get the draft done. Yeah. Yeah. Did that happen? Go speed run it, my man. Speed run it. Yeah. Uh, I got this speed reading app on my phone now, so it means I've actually been reading a lot more because of it. I wish I had. Why are your messages being held for review? I like that. That's funny. Oh, by the way, Lynn, you missed something pretty epic in our last D&D session. By the way, I'll tell you. The party ran into the National Orkland Orchestra. Okay, tell me about the art. Tell me about the art, Crow. I mean, that's a good idea. I saw. I once saw. It reminds me of a thing I saw once on. I think it was like on Tumblr, where the idea was through. The idea was it was about a dragonborn, and the premise is that through a confluence of events, a noble-born dragon, a noble dragonborn, knight is hired to save a princess who's been kidnapped by a dragon. But the only complication is they're both the princess and the dragon that they think have been kidnapped. So it was like a dragonborn knight is hired to save a princess from a dragon. Anyways, it was very funny. Oh yeah, sure. Let's see the pictures. I always love your pictures, Crow. The orchestra, yeah. I always love your pictures, Crow. I think you have a really good eye for photos. These are Crow over on Twitch. These are Crow's pictures. Yeah, Crow's a really good photographer. I think you have a really good eye for things. Okay, for just a brief second, I want to complain about something that happened in the figure skating the doubles figure skating competition. Yeah, exactly. And through a convolution of events, I tried to figure out how to make that work in a. Okay, just for a very brief second. So. And okay, I'm going to preface this by saying I've been very defensive of other figure skaters who I think have been unjustly docked for points. I saw this Georgian kid do a dance, and he was great, and they docked him for some bullshit, and I was very upset for him because I thought he did better. And there was this Canadian girl that should have medaled, should have at least got third, but she fell right in her opening, and that screwed everything up. But anyways, the pairs duo, the American pairs duo, I think were totally screwed in their singles competition. I'm talking like I know a lot about figure skating. I don't, but I've been watching it all weekend, so I have thoughts. American figure skater. Pairs. Yeah. No, that's... Chalk and Bates. Yeah, Chalk and Bates. Chalk and Bates. Hey, Never. Yeah. Well, it irritates me because I think Chalk and Bates were kind of screwed. They gave this fucking flippin' amazing performance. Amazing performance. Like, gravity doesn't touch them. And they get knocked like 5 points. And they had to like go to the freaking like a microscope to figure out. And they don't even know why they got docked. They think maybe because her skate was not precisely straight exactly in 1 inch. And they've been weirdly harshly judging the Americans. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm gonna complain about figure skating for a minute because I've been watching it all week and I have thoughts. Never. Never. And then Ilya comes out there. Ilya, who is like the best figure skater in the world. Best in the world. Gravity does not fucking touch this kid. And like they give him like a 92? 92? Okay, maybe he doesn't win, but for some reason they didn't... Fucking... Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They've been weird... Yeah, sure. Anyways, that's my complaint. During the team competition, during the singles... His part of the singles team competition, the first... Well, the winner got like 108, and Ilya's stuff was much more complicated. The dude did a quadruple axel. Had to do a quadruple axel, which is only the second. Okay. It's a quadruple axel. Ilya is one of the only people in the world who is maybe the only person in the world who can successfully. yeah, they're gonna get mad at me. Successfully pull this off. Man, he can spin 4 times in the air. It's ridiculous. He had to do that to make up his points. Where the other guy is good. I won't knock that down. He's great, but he's doing safe if technically correct. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm sorry about being a standard American complaining, but I think the Americans are getting weirdly graded a little harsher than like some of the others are. Yeah, no. Look him up. He look him up. Look at Ilya Milan. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so that's my complaint. Yeah. I did. Yeah, Ilya. He did the quadruple axel. Nobody's ever done that before. He's the first. He's the first person to pull that off. I say this. I'm talking like I know a lot. How's it going? Never. I'm talking like I know a lot. You know. I'm not saying Ilya had to win. I'm just saying that first singles competition for the team event, he was judged weirdly harshly. Oh, we're just drawing random stuff. How's it going? How's it going? We're just drawing stuff. I was talking about the Olympics. The dad dragonborn in drag. Do it, Rainbow. How's it going? TC? TCB? J? TCBJ? Also, NBC. One more complaint, then I'll drop this because clearly nobody but us me is watching the Olympics. NBC, stop cutting the damn medal ceremonies, okay? Lithuania just pulled off a huge upset. Lithuania, the first woman ever from Lithuania to win a medal, just happened, and we didn't get to see that medal ceremony. And America got third. Are we only seeing it if America gets gold? This is crap. Show the damn medal ceremony. I've seen like 2. Okay. Let's see. Minos Prime. Minos Prime is the boss in the video game. Let's see. Okay, we can do that. But how's it going, Never? How's everything going? That's good. You know, sometimes it wouldn't hurt you guys to participate in the monoculture. Okay. Yay! I like when everybody makes friends. So TCBJ, are you a fan of this game? Can I have one? Guys, I'm feeling left out. I want soft tacos too. I mean, I do like burritos. Okay, here's a question for everybody. Here's a question for everybody. Are they really soft tacos or are they small burritos? Huh? Chipotle used to be my favorite. I used to love Chipotle's burritos so much. I can't have them anymore. I think they've gone so downhill. Okay, but what if you put beans in a soft taco? Does it? Hmm. This is interesting. But what if you ask for a burrito? What if you ask for a soft taco with beans, though? So, but what? See, this is the question. What determines the category of food? Because theoretically, you could. Oh, thank you. Partly because I'm just in a good mood today. Okay, see, this is where I don't think hot dogs count as sandwiches. Shockingly enough. Here's my theory. I think hot dogs are rolls. Here's my theory. Because we have hot dog sandwiches. Okay, follow me on this. Have you ever had a hot dog sandwich? It's hot dog, but on with 2 slices of bread instead of a hot dog bun. So, here's my theory. A sandwich is defined as two separate disconnected slices of bread. The meal has if it's not 2 separate pieces of bread, it doesn't count as a sandwich. What's the difference between sauces and smoothies? Because aren't all sauces at some point smooth? Well, okay, TCB. Here's the thing. Don't smoothies have to be cold? An ontological mystery. That is. You should. I don't know if I have, which is very weird because as a kid I was very obsessed with ketchup. I had a Pikachu-like obsession with ketchup. Ooh. There is. That is a point. Well, it wouldn't be comfortable to swim in a soup bowl, Lynn. That's my theory. First, it's about comfort. Yes. Although, as people on the if you look through the channel, you'll find that I'm not quite good at it. Okay, here. This is just a quick sketch of your guy here, TC. Well, you always have to account. Do you guys know about the mummy craze of the 1800s? I think people got super. If you don't know, the people of Europe got super obsessed with mummies. I drew this is just a quick sketch of your guy. Yeah, so people of Europe got super obsessed with mummies, and they would start using ground up mummies for almost anything. They would start using ground up mummies for almost anything. So painting, they would paint with ground mummies. They would. Oh, yeah, that was a good drawing. I forgot how good of a drawing this was. I was just looking through my old ones. I think I did this on stream a while back. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like people were weird. Yeah. Okay, TC, it was nice talking to you. Goodbye. Good luck. Goodbye. People are weird. Victorians especially were always quite weird. They're always quite weird. There was also, it also used to be popular to just... Let's see, I'm just trying to find my... Yeah, well, you're following me now. I'm going to try and stream more. I've been kind of on a break, but I'm going to try and stream more. Where's the drawing I was working on? It's so funny. You can tell you can always tell when I have a lot of energy and when I don't, because like the drawings will get significantly. Oh, he is following. If you don't know, I have it set on subscribers only, so he has to follow. Yeah, that's a lesson I learned quickly. Yeah. Be good to see you, Crow. Yeah. There was also the trend of Like, it used to be a popular party trend to, and this is real, like electrocute animals in Victorian times. That's partly why the book Dr. Moreau was written, apparently, was as a response to this, is they were doing weird visimancy, like, and stuff. Ooh, I'm sorry. See you, Rainbow. Yeah. I might shave off my beard, guys. 1 second. This thing is really irritating me. 1 second. I'm going to be back in 1 minute, guys. I won't even... I'll be back in 1 minute. I'll shave the rest off after stream. My mustache was driving me up a wall. Just trying to find blank. Ah, there it is. This was the drawing I was working on. Okay, well, that's gone. You don't know. It just is the way it is. Well, hey, if several art teachers who complained to me about this habit haven't fixed it yet, it's... Yeah, it is something I should fix, yet I have yet to. You know, I'm shocked. What is today? What's today? It is... Yeah, I can't believe Wednesday we're not getting more people in. Honestly, it's fine. You know, as a streamer person, you want more people. You know, there's always that part of you that wants more people in. It's like, frankly, I get quite stressed when there's a lot of people in the room. Maybe I'll bring back the Discord streaming for a little bit. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, what did I really expect? Wednesday would be the big day. A lot of people would show up. Yeah. Oh, I do too. It's especially because once like the big... Yeah. Because you have to answer like 100 questions or something. It's... ridiculous. And usually they're calling you like, well, usually they're screaming like obscenities or stuff, which is always fun. I don't know, to deal with. I don't know. Honestly, this is chill. I like this. This is just chill. I like talking to you guys, and I can make a little. I make just. Tell me what game this is. A friend of mine has. My friend Kelly. She just suggested me a new game to play together. I've been thinking lately of starting a new Little Kitty, Big City. Little Kitty, Big City. Oh, that looks so cute. Oh, that's really cute. Yeah. Have you? Just reminds me. I got really fixated yesterday on what the biggest franchises in the world actually are. Biggest franchises in the world. List of highest grossing media franchises in the world. At least this is from the Wikipedia article, so you know. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take bets. What do you guys think is the most profit? What do you guys think is the franchise that's earned the most money of all time? Media-wise, what do you guys think is the franchise that's earned the most of all time? It's not McDonald's or Michael Jackson. Yes, yeah. It's something we all know, by the way. I'm pretty. No, this is media. This is media. So, you know, this is like, you know, The Simpsons or The Avengers, stuff like that. What is the biggest media property of all time? Crow is correct. It is Pokemon. Pokemon is the biggest media property of all time. It has roughly, yeah, $115 billion in total. Do you guys know where okay, do you guys know what number 2 is? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you number 2 because it's Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is Barbie is on the list, but it's Mickey Mouse is number 2. Winnie the Pooh is number 3. And then Star Wars is number 4. Okay. Star Wars is number 4, followed by Disney Princesses is number 5. Then, yeah, Winnie the Pooh. Oh, you're going to be shocked what is more valuable. You're going to be shocked. Well, Star Wars is number 4 overall. It's the 4th most profitable franchise of all time. You're going to be shocked what is more valuable. Because there's Disney Princesses, and then 3 later is the MCU. So the MCU, there's 2 things that are above the MCU. What do you think they're going to be? Because you're not going to get one. I had no idea I had no idea this was a thing. Can you guess what beat the MCU? No. Close though. It is a toy franchise.
And you had it before, Lynn.
You already guessed it once. Barbie. Okay. Barbie is just okay. But you know what's above Barbie? You're not gonna guess this. You know what's above Barbie? The Japanese character Anapa Man. Anapan Man? This guy. He's above Barbie and the MCU. This little guy right here. He is a superhero with an Anapan, a red bean paste for a head. Yeah. Then Barbie, then the MCU, then... Yeah. Harry Potter. Okay, so... Okay, Call of Duty, Batman, Spider-Man are all on the list, but they're beaten by somebody. Okay, they're beaten by somebody. Who do you think... There's something more valuable than Call of Duty, Batman, and Spider-Man. What do you think it is? This blew my mind when I found this out, that this franchise is this valuable. It's Hello Kitty. It's Hello Kitty. Yes, you are 100% correct. It's Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty has made $33.5 billion compared to Call of Duty's $31 billion, Batman's $29.9 billion, and Spider-Man's $26.8 billion. It is also more valuable than Transformers, which has made $25 billion. Yeah, this was a very amusing list. Yes. Cars. Okay, Dragon Fighter Online is valued at $22 billion. And just below that is Cars, which is valued at $21.5 billion. Candy Crush is 20 billion. Then it is the Looney Tunes at 17.46 billion. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at 17.4. SpongeBob at 16.6. Okay. Space Invaders. This is wild to me. This is wild to me. Frozen is valued at 13.9 billion, whereas Space Invaders is valued at the same. And Space Invaders has made more money than Warcraft, which is at 12.4. Now, let me okay, Street Fighter, okay. Demon Slayer is currently tied with Grand Theft Auto and Monster Strike. They've all made about 10 billion. Under that, it's James Bond, which just barely beats out Angry Birds, Thomas and Friends, and Fortnite. Okay, let me find. There's going to be one that really blows your mind. Okay. Yeah, okay, so Mario is... Okay. It's always fun, because you have to... Okay. Mario is on the list. Fortnite... Mario has sold approximately $8.75 billion worth of things, which is below Fortnite, but it's above Power Rangers and Lord of the Rings. Power Rangers, Lord of the Rings, X-Men, Superman, and the DC Extended Universe. Fast and the Furious narrowly beats out Lilo and Stitch. Okay. Okay, let's okay. On the list is Shrek, Ice Age, Halo, Madden NFL, Avatar, and Sonic. But they're all beaten by another franchise that I was frankly shocked is on the list. I didn't realize it was as popular as it was. Can you guys guess what it is? What is more valuable? To the point, it's apparently so popular, I'm shocked that it's not... Ben 10. Ben 10 is much more valuable than, say, Sonic the Hedgehog, Avatar, Madden, and Halo. The Phantom of the Opera has made... Okay. And My Little Pony has made $5.98 billion collectively. Which means, definitively, that My Little Pony is more valuable than Scooby-Doo, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Mamma Mia, and Mortal Kombat. What's shocking to me is that Mamma Mia is so high, making $5.16 billion, which puts it above Mortal Kombat, Gundam, Ganesha, The Sims, Bob the Builder, and MapleStory. Just under MapleStory, The Simpsons, meaning it beats the Assassin's Creed, Mission Impossible, Beyblade, Big Bang Theory, Minecraft. Just below Minecraft, which means comparatively, you have to think about this, comparatively Minecraft is similar in scope to Twilight. Minecraft and Twilight have made about the same amount of money. Okay. Here's another one. I always like these. Care Bears at $3.5 billion. Hamtaro, which I was shocked to see on the list that Hamtaro is this highly rated, is at 3.2, is at 3.02 billion. That means that Hamtaro has made more money than the Terminator franchise, Thor, Zootopia, Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Inside Out, and Godzilla and Indiana Jones. Hamtaro is worth more. Hamtaro is worth much more than all of those. The Powerpuff Girls is Winx Club and the Powerpuff Girls are worth more than Friends. And Friends and Sailor Moon comparatively are worth about the same. So think about this. Sailor Moon and Friends have made the same amount of money, about. So, let's see. Yeah. Finding Nemo. Let's see, what else? Little Mermaid is... See, this is shocking. Jumanji... I don't know, this is from Wikipedia, so you have to... But Jumanji is worth $2.24 billion, and it's above The Little Mermaid, The Conjuring, and Ghostbusters. Whereas... let's see. And rounding out the list is Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is tied with NBA Jam, Lego, Guitar Hero, and Resident Evil. It is objectively worse. I agree. Yeah. Hi, Blue Hat. Yeah. Sir, we're technically supposed to be drawing, but we got distracted looking at the highest franchise earners. It could. So we got distracted talking about what are apparently like the biggest media properties aren't what you think they are. I don't think it's on the list. Let's see. I don't know. We were just looking at the Wikipedia article. Let's see. How much has One Piece earned over its lifetime? Oh, I think it is. I think I missed it. 1 second. Let's see. It must be pretty high. I just might have missed it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is also very high. This might be just an outdated list, but let's see. Because I could have sworn I saw it when I looked at this list yesterday. Let's see. Call of Duty, Spider-Man, Cars. Let's see. Highest grossing media properties of all time. This gives a different number. This says that One Piece has gathered about $20 billion. This says that One Piece has about $20 billion, which would make it just below a lot of things. But it should be on the list. Yeah, that was my one problem with that list, because it's like I don't know the exact numbers of it. Yeah. Big fan of One Piece, Blue Hat? But what are you talking about, Crow? Yes, depression can make you a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah. Plus the rap song that we still love and listen to every day, right? Don't give it a... What are you talking about? I thought everybody really liked... I'm being an ass. You know, it's funny, after, like, theoretically, like, printing money with, like, getting the Pokemon. I don't know. But, you know, what... Guys, I don't know what you're talking about. One Piece clearly takes place in America, just like Japan does, and just like every anime that One Piece put out. Where they clearly are in America. I don't know if you guys were around for that era of like anime dubbing when they tried to pretend all the animes took place in America. Yeah. It takes place in America, never. Would you dare to doubt Would you dare to doubt 4Kids Entertainment? Ooh, what did you get? That sounds like America to me. It takes place in America. You're just describing America more and more, Never. Can't you look out at America right now and see it as the One Piece? The greatest dub of... You mean the greatest dub of all time? Ghost Stories? I want to. It's just every time I think about getting into it, I look at the size of, like, how much I would have to read to get the full story. I'm like, oh god, this would just be my life for like 2 years. No, I'm kidding, Blue Hat. See, I don't know if people are young enough to remember. You might not be old enough to remember this particular bit of history. But 4Kids in particular used to be pretty infamous for when they would dub an anime, they would work very hard to make sure to pretend that the anime took place in America no matter what. So that's why you get weird little things like Brock calling rice balls jelly donuts. I'm gonna this. Do you know that was blocked? Never. Yeah. Do you know that was held for review? Guys, Jelly has been held for review. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that, Lynn, because anime didn't teach me about that. They called it a jelly donut for years. But what's wrong with it just being said in the country it's said? Why does it have to be America? What's wrong with just setting it? Yeah, you're banned. You're banned from saying jelly. No. No, they were getting along pretty well. It's extra work. It's not. It was dumb extra work that wasn't need. It was dumb extra work that wasn't needed. There was no point to doing it, and frankly, and frankly, let's be honest. It might have been good to teach kids that there are other countries and cultures out there. No, man, Japan. No, not really. '90s Japan was doing great. If anything, America was kind of jealous of Japan at the moment. Kind of jealous of Japan. I mean, okay. So you know how like Americans have a fear that China will someday overtake them in economy stuff. There were at the time. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was a slight xenophobia about Japan becoming the economic center of the world. That didn't really happen. Japan actually had So that's why you would see, like, especially in future movies, but it's not like there's like political problems really. Like that's why you would see, like, say in cyberpunk movies and stuff at the time, like Japan ruling the world and stuff. That didn't happen. Japan had a big downturn. Yeah, but it's not like we were like fighting politically with them, or more than we fight with any other nation state. Japan, since the war, has been one of our closer allies. Yeah. What I'm saying is but also Japanese culture got huge in the 90s. Guys, when do you think the anime boom started? It was in the 90s, especially with with it starting to be broadcast on television, like tape tradings. Yeah, it's like the 90s is when yeah. 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 What you're also seeing is a slight like anxiety in Americans that American producing media, people that we wouldn't have like necessarily cultural homogeneity. God, I hate saying that word. Homogeneity anymore. Which is something we're always secretly afraid of. The U.S. is always kind of secretly afraid of that will happen at some point, because we have a lot. Okay, so. Have you guys ever heard of the concept of soft power? America has a lot of soft power. I know never you know this, but America has a ton of soft power. As we are cultural arbiters in a lot of ways. No, we're doing yes and no. We have more competition. We have more competition now than we used to, but we're still doing pretty good. Imagine it, yeah. We have more competition, but we're still doing pretty good. But we are definitely experiencing competition from Japan and China more than we used to. But the thing is, okay, so Japan is called, but it's becoming like a more international world, which I don't actually think is that bad. But yeah, 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 and we could get into like how the film industry have become like cowards in some ways and not taking chances on new things, but that's a whole. Well, that's because you're old. Never. That's because you're old. That's why. Anyways, that's a whole different discussion. But I mean, this definitely, like, I'll give my opinion. I think we still make pretty good films. I think there's good films made every year. I actually think this year kind of was a strong year for movies. Having said that, definitely not the best period. Yeah, I agree with that, but that's always been true. Go right, Lynn. It's good to see you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's always been true. Never. That's always been true. That film. That the mid budgets were always better than the big budgets. Big budgets bring in like investors and like business people who want to make sure their profits are properly amortized, and our investment portfolio meets projected revenue share. And film doesn't really work that way. You don't know what's going to be successful. I mean, as we were just reading. Okay, Crow. Yeah, I heard that. Good for him. I knew that there was a possible it was seriously being shopped around. Did he actually get something going? It's like with Apple TV or something, right? Ooh, ooh, good for him. See, I was trying to be nice. Okay, so I have kind of mixed. I don't know. Sanderson's okay, and okay to me is kind of a loaded word. He's certainly not the worst fantasy author. Yeah, I've ever read. I am of the okay. From what I've read of his stuff, and I haven't read. And to be fair, I haven't read it all. I haven't read a lot. I haven't read everything. So maybe he gets really good immediately after I stopped reading. Um, my theory is, and this is going to be just me, the fact that Sanderson writes so much all the time, every year, and long books, I think is why they're weak. You know, a lot of people praise him for the amount of writing he gets, but not writing. I don't know. If he slowed down and wrote maybe just half of what he wrote, I think his stuff would improve so much. I don't know. But it might end up being good. You know, sometimes mediocre books make for better movies and shows. So, I don't know. We'll see. Sanderson's okay, and I haven't read it. And maybe I just haven't read enough to get into him, but I don't know. I'm starting to get a little irritated by him. He seems to, like... Well, he's a Mormon, so... He seems to get fans by, you know... I'm frankly getting... There's a little part of me that dislikes that Sanderson... I dislike that Sanderson has kind of set a bad precedent for everybody. He... Like... Well, it has to be kind of bland, because then he couldn't write as much as he does. Never. That's the problem. See, Brandon Sanderson has cleverly averted any criticism I could theoretically make of his work because he writes so fucking much that it's impossible to get a good, clear overview of everything he does. And I guess I kind of resent him for... I think he started... I think he set a bad precedent. I think he set a tiny bit of a bad precedent. I don't know. Yeah. And, like, not fancy cheese. Like... But some people want that, never, you know? Some people want that. And frankly, the thing about Sanderson is you have to understand there's a lot of fantasy that's way worse. Especially modern day fantasy is not great. You know, it's like ham sandwiches. You know, there's ham sandwiches, and then there's, like, sandwiches made out of sand. Yeah. Like dirt. Like, it's just bread and actual physical sand that you have to chew. So, the ham sandwich suddenly becomes very tasty in the comparison. Do I think he's as good as, like, maybe Martin or George Martin? No. Obviously not. I don't know. But again, yeah. But again, Sanderson kind of outsmarts, outmaneuvers any sort of like critique, because it's like, well, how much have you read of his? It's like, well, not a good majority of it. Well, you wouldn't know. I'm like, okay, fine, I get it. Writing a lot, he writes so much, it's hard to totally like give a full overview of his thing unless you were an obsessive fan, which is, yeah, no. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just going to say what I thought. I thought Miss Bourne was so boring I didn't finish it. I was so bored. I don't know. I thought it was so boring I didn't finish it. I was like, I read it a bit and I was like, yeah. I don't know. I'm weary of like going hard against, yeah. Well, there's a lot of fantasy that is very Mormon. Sanderson is like, from everything I've read about him, Sanderson is a pretty progressive guy. So, but it's like, none of us can choose what religion we're born into. So, whatever. But, and I have very good friends who are Mormons. Yeah. But yeah. Apparently, okay, I'll throw this out there. Yeah, so, and he has some good ideas about, so it's, I don't know, God, I haven't been drawing so much lately. I've been doing more writing than drawing. Yeah, There are far worse writers out there. There are far worse writers out there than Brandon Sanderson. I agree. There's far worse people. There's far worse writers in the world to be into than Brandon Sanderson as a guy. Oh, I wasn't even talking about that. I was the fact that if I ever get published, I'm gonna throw this out there. If I ever get published and some person finds my finds this account, finds this stream of me complaining about this particular book, don't be mean to me, please. I'm allowed to dislike things. I even said that maybe Sanderson deserves a second look from me at some point down the future. But if I could, how the fuck is Fourth Wing higher on the Goodreads? Is fucking trash like Fourth Wing higher on the Goodreads thing than Lord of the Rings Return of the King? How the fuck did that happen? That Goodreads rates Fourth Wing higher. Fourth Wing is straight trash. It irritates me so much that I've been tempted to write a book in response to it. But obviously, nice words, good words, sucking up to the publishing industry so that I can get a big film deal. Or the biggest film deal of all time just happened. Did you hear about this, Never? The biggest film deal, one of the biggest film deals of all time just happened with a book called... Yeah, there's a limit on that. There's a limit on how much... It's called Alchemized. Did you hear about that? Maybe it's been beat since I last checked, but Alchemized, it's this book called Alchemized. And Alchemized is a rewritten Harry Potter fanfic. About what would happen about a world where Voldemort won and Harry... Yeah. And Harry and Hermione and Draco Malfoy together. It's 1,000 pages long. Alchemized film deal. The deal is valued at over $3 million. Yeah, it's basically Harry Potter meets The Handmaid's Tale, but sexy. I once had an idea, since apparently we're buying fanfics now. I should write like a fanfic of something, but make it like an alternate universe fanfic, and then like the secret is I just write an original story but call it a fanfic, and then like, oh, this is so popular. Well, I guess we could adapt it into original fiction if I just do what I wanted to do in the first. Yeah. Again, don't be mad at me. Please don't be mad at me if you see this years later. I'm sure I've said something stupid, but please don't be mad at me. Yeah, but isn't that annoying? What? Yeah, but also, yeah. Well, when stuff like when stuff like this gets popular, it means that it means that that's what they want to produce. Whatever. Whatever. People are allowed to like what they like, I guess. I'm there's that Alchemist thing really unsettles me, honestly. I don't know. I haven't read it, so you know what? I haven't read it. It might be the greatest book ever written. Who knows? I'm not gonna read 1,000 fucking words of it to find out. Unless somebody paid me to do that. I have thought about starting like a book review show or something. Not 1,000 words, 1,000 pages. To find out. Yeah. You know how you save yourself from criticism is you cunningly make it so long it's too annoying. Like I've never finished Fourth Wing because of that, because Fourth Wing is so long and annoying. And I'm like, well, in some way I blame J.K. Rowling for yeah. And you know what? It's too long to finish. It's too long. It's a very good way to deflect criticism. That's exactly. As somebody who is very fascinated by short stories generally, I get very irritated by that. But never, yeah. No. The fourth prologue was needed. You needed to understand where. You needed to understand the what the grandfather of the main character was doing. That would be such, yeah. That would be such like a funny like anti-novel, like an anti-fantasy novel. Oh fuck that! But that would be like such a funny fantasy anti-novel in a way, of like. What if it was like a novel made up totally of prologues of like I'm almost thinking, have you ever read of If on a Winter's Night a Traveler? I was thinking you could do like it could be like the fantasy version of that. It's like it's always just different prologues of different fantasy novels. Oh man, you gotta get on that. That's a good book. I love Ottavio Calvino. I believe I've recommended you Invisible Cities before, which is maybe my favorite book of all time. And you still haven't read it. What are you doing? I had a friend. Okay, I'm just gonna read that one. I had a friend. I'm just gonna complain about this for a minute. I have a friend, and we were talking about literature, and I kind of was slagging off House of Leaves a little bit. Partly because, okay, I know people who love House of Leaves. Sure, okay. It's kind of baby's first postmodern novel. I'm sorry. It just kind of is. There's been a bunch of other writers who've done very similar things to that guy. It just kind of is. I'm sorry. It's not a bad book. It's not. It's kind of baby's first postmodernist. Okay. Anyways, Tom Ligotti was doing very similar things to that guy in like the 80s. Anyways, it's not a bad book. It's not a bad book, but it's not. If you're aware of like the general tenor of like horror literature and stuff, he's not that far out of like out of what that guy is doing. Anyway, so I was kind of making fun of that a little bit, and apparently that's his favorite book. So he kind of made fun of. He was talking about how Ottavio Calvino. Well, he just writes in the same style all the time, and I let that go. And that's always bothered me to this day that I let that go, because it is such a nonsense complaint. That a writer, you want a writer to be a different type of writer every book? That's such a nonsense complaint. I think I've heard of this one. I think I heard of this one. That sounds cool. God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble if people find this stream. I've wanted, I'm trying to get like traditionally published, and if people find this stream of me like just shit talking other much more successful authors, like he's being real mean. It's like Ego, the girl from The Bear, when she was caught making fun of Jennifer Lopez a little bit. By the way, for very justifiable reasons. Because Jennifer Lopez doesn't really sing on her own, anyways. And she had to apologize to Jennifer Lopez. I think about that a lot. It's like Jennifer Lopez, who does not, J-Lo, who does not sing on the majority of her albums. Well, okay, that's not exactly true. She backup sings. If you don't know, often they often got a different singer in for her, and then you can hear her voice, but it's always in the background. It was mostly, I believe a lot of her earlier hits were like Ashanti and stuff. So. And Ayo had to apologize to her for pointing that out. Ridiculous. And I think about that all the time. It's like, oh, Sean Arnold got caught making fun of other writers. Okay, yeah, you guys want to know? Yes, of course it's fucking jealousy. Of course I'm fucking jealous. I think we're both a little jealous. Other writers are always a little jealous. But you know what? Brandon Sanderson. I'm jealous because I think I'm better. Because I think I'm better. Oh, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for that. I don't know if I'm better. I'm definitely better than the fourth wing lady. I think that. Anyways. But that's what writers do, Van. I'm not necessarily jealous of their ability. I am jealous that they get to do it. They get to do it. They get to do what they. Oh, it's not that I'm jealous of their ability. No. I'm jealous that they get to do what they. They get to do what they want. They get to do. They get to do what they want for a living. They get to do what they want for a living. I'm jealous of that. I'm jealous that the doors keep closing more and more. I'm jealous of their success. Yeah, but I'd rather have the problems of being a rich guy than being not a rich guy. I would yeah. I mean, I'd rather be a paid professional writer who can make a consistent living from his craft, because that is the only way to guarantee. And well, fortunately for most writers, we don't get that attention. Maybe. I don't want the attention, but I want the success. I want the success. Oh God, man, no, I don't want the attention. I do want the success though. It's not that I'm like, oh, I just want to be rich so bad. It's just, oh, I want to make, I want to have the ability for my art to be my yeah, and so that's the exact thing. I want to have the ability for my art to be my living, for my writing to be my full-time living, so I don't have to constantly worry about everything else, which I do a lot. I mean, so I envy people. I envy people who can do that, and frankly get a little irritated sometimes if I don't feel they're as good. Brandon Sanderson's fine, by the way. It might sound like I'm saying Brandon Sanderson's fine. It's actually quite. It's much more difficult than you think to get up to the level of Bag of Chips. Yeah, it's much more difficult, by the way, than you think to get up to the level of Bag of Chips than I think people appreciate. Of all the bad writers I've seen, being at best mediocre, at worst mediocre, is a pretty big accomplishment in and of itself. And who knows? Maybe I'd like it. Maybe I'd like it again. Yeah. No. I mean, I'll sell my my wrestling fantasy books and as a manga. I do sometimes think this is me being very like 98 and 98. Remember that 98% of the writers and of the published writers out there, like more than 50% of them live below the poverty line. So, hey, guess what? Why I'm doing stuff like this? Guess why I'm doing stuff like this? So I can try and build up a little bit of an online following. Because that's the only real way to make money nowadays. I mean, if you want to argue, here is a very controversial opinion. I'll throw this out here. Brandon Sanderson is just as much of an internet personality as he is a writer. I actually really in some ways respect Sanderson for how savvy he is in a lot of ways. Because Sanderson seemed to have jumped on the internet, figured out the internet really quickly as compared to other writers. Like, he did, as the internet was getting big, he did podcasts, he did his YouTube channel. He's doing pretty well on TikTok. Yeah. No, you don't have to. But I respect that he's kind of a forward-thinking guy in a lot of ways. Yeah. His YouTube channel is fairly big now. Fuck, man. I've seen Sanderson do like straight up video essay. He's done a few video essays at this point. He's as much as an influence. Arguably, he's the biggest like writing influencer in the world. Yeah, and those like yeah, those lectures I think have always been the secret to his success. I didn't hear a lot about Sanderson until he started posting those lectures, and then everybody started talking about him. Yeah. So in some ways, I guess I'm trying to emulate him as a person, but I don't have near his level of like his reach or acclaim. So yeah, we'll see. Thank you. I mean, I've already been published once. Just gotta do it a couple hundred more times. I do have something near complete. I've gotten a few I've been using these weeks wisely, by the way. I've gotten a few drafts to near complete status. Thank you, Never. I think you will as well. I just like a few people to read my stuff. Thank you. I was almost tempted to do. Thank you. You're very Never. I think you're very easy to talk to, by the way. And that's hard. That's hard in this world. You'd be surprised. I think you're more sociable than you give yourself credit for. Yeah, that's clever too. I mean, I've been thinking about that. I have a video essay I've been kind of scripting for a while. That's basically I try and answer. I try and answer the basic question: why is manga outselling comics? And I've come to a few conclusions. About the reasons that it's happening, and one of them I've come to realize through what I've been researching is that since manga has such a low upfront cost, it spreads a lot easier. It's funny because in a way manga isn't actually that much cheaper than like comic books because they produce so much and you're gonna have to buy a lot to get the complete story, but it has a much lower upfront cost, and it's like its profitability point is usually like later than like say American comic books try and be like profitable like much earlier than manga does, which well, there's a lot of reasons why. This is just one of them. But anyway, so manga has such this low upfront cost to start that's one of the reasons why it's doing so much better. It just costs less. And I've been thinking about that generally. It's like, yeah, that works. You know, the company I used to work for, what they would do is they would give away the first 100 episodes of their audio dramas for free. Yeah. I actually don't think the art style has as much to do with it. Well, maybe it does, but okay, so I generally have four. I kind of came up with four general reasons why it's happening. Yeah. And my contention is there's about four reasons. Low. It's cheaper. Yeah. It's cheaper. The age demographics are a lot. Okay, so it's important to understand. Okay, how do I explain? Okay, have you ever heard of a comic book called Smile? You might not have. It was one of the big. Yeah, no. I imagine most people who don't, unless you have kids or you are a kid, you haven't heard of Smile. Smile is one of the biggest comic books in America. At least it was like a couple of years ago. But it was, for a while, it was massive. It was one of the best-selling books on the New York Times bestseller list, and it was a comic. Smile is about a middle school girl going through everyday adventures. That's what it's about. And it was massive. And it kind of hints at what's happening with American comics, at least in my opinion, is that American comics really don't go for American comics. I've asked people with kids about this book, and that it was huge. Really don't go for like the younger demographic. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. It's incredibly appropriate for kids. Comics generally, especially like Western American comics, superhero comics tend to assume that you are familiar with the story and are an adult of some sort, and don't really try and appeal to kids. But you know who does try and appeal to kids? You know Shonen, I think, is like the major moneymaker really in manga. Manga does. Like most of manga tries to appeal to the younger audience, like middle schoolers or at least teenagers. Like the most successful ones are usually that. And yeah, so and you look at the breakdowns, it's like, yeah, it's kids, because like who has time to sit down and read all this stuff? It's kids. Yeah, so that's one of the major things, is that manga is really, really intensely like focused on. Yeah. And by the way, I know there's like adult manga and stuff. I get that, but the moneymaker is the middle school stuff, is the shonen stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Whereas American comics, like, people always say, like, the thing I always get irritated by is people always say, well, Western comics are so confusing. Superhero comic, Western comics, Marvel and DC are so confusing. You have to know, like, all this continuity. You have to know, like, 20 years of continuity and stuff to really understand what's going on. And one, not necessarily true. A lot of comic books do try and be pretty continuity light, but here's the other thing. Most of Western comics are linear, straightforward told stories. This is what always gets me. You can always tell that these people don't know a lot about the Western comic book industry. Almost most of the independent stuff, like if you go to like read anything by Image or Dark Horse or pretty much anything that isn't Marvel and DC, will be pretty linearly told stories. So you question so it's like, well, if that's the only thing stopping it, why isn't that popular? Well, and the reason is because there's a bunch of other shit that's going on. But the thing about, like, those is a lot of those are for adults. Yeah. A lot of those are for adults. And I love those stories, don't get me wrong. Like, currently, my favorite comic right now, and it's a little bit on hiatus, is Love After Everlasting, which is fucking brilliant. And nobody has read that. I tried to cover that I tried to cover all the issues of that, but nobody cared. But yeah, so nobody reads those. So part of the problem is they don't come out as often as manga does, and they're more expensive. And I think one thing that really helps manga that nobody talks about is that manga is mostly in black and white, so that reduces the cost. That reduces the cost, since you only do an occasional coloring. You don't have to spend as much money, but also, it's for kids. Most of the popular ones are for kids. The other big thing, and for some reason people never think about this, it's anime. Okay, like, I know that, like, Marvel and DC, I'm pretty much doing a dry rehearsal of the essay. Marvel and DC, like, are the big thing, but it's really important to understand, to look at very baseline sales statistics. Demon Hunter. Do you know Demon Hunter? Okay. The volume that came out after the premiere of the first episode of Demon Hunter. Volume 16 of Demon Hunter was the first one that came out after the anime premiered. That one sold as much as the entirety of the series. The first 2 years, collectively, they sold about 100,000. The first 15 volumes sold about 100,000. Volume 16, in its first week, sold 100,000. That is... Anime is like this accelerant, man. Like, most of the... And that plays out, most of the big manga sales come from big premiere animes. And it's like... And the thing with anime is it lasts forever. Like, you take a look at something like One Piece or Naruto. Think about this. Every week, for years, there'll be a new episode. Like, I think Naruto went on for like a decade. More than a decade long. Yeah, I wonder why the manga did so well. Because there's a big internationally broadcast television show every week adapting it. Yes, Spider-Man or something is big. But despite what you think, it can't match every week. Billions of people will watch Naruto. Yes, Spider-Man is comparatively much bigger, but they're not watching it every week. They're watching it like once or they're watching a new adventure from Spider-Man like every 3 years or something. If Spider-Man had a show that was on, an animated show that was on every week for like a decade, like Naruto, yeah, I think it could do just, the comics would do just as well. But then you get, yeah, anyways, so yeah, but But you look at it something like kind of like X-Men. To me, X-Men would be the most obvious example of this. X-Men is like so... Honestly, like... I kind of think X-Men invented young adult fiction in a weird way. Especially like the modern day one. And everything else is sort of a variation of X-Men. Yeah. Everything else is sort of a variation of X-Men. Because when you really... well, X-Men was more popular... And Doom Patrol doesn't really become... People don't really care about Doom Patrol until Grant Morrison started to write it. And X-Men did the logical thing of making it a superhero school. Yeah. No. They didn't... Okay. First of all, let's get this. They were in production about the same time. They were in production about the same time. X-Men comes out like a month later. That's not enough lead-in time for them to steal. It's just one of those coincidental things. Anyways, okay, but if you really think about it, isn't Harry Potter essentially just X-Men but wizards instead? Isn't Naruto just essentially but X-Men but ninjas? If you really break it down, X-Men should be $1 trillion franchise in my opinion. It was the yeah. Yeah, and listen, J.K. Rowling doesn't want to admit it. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, but also Terry Gilliam, not Terry. Oh God, don't kill me. Terry Pratchett wrote X-Men. Harry Potter also feels very similar to Terry Pratchett's stuff, but nobody talks about that. How's it going, Brent? Or Ursula K. Guin, or who also essentially wrote Wizard School. By the way, I have a... I'm sorry to hear that, Ren. Are you okay? Yeah. How are you? I'm sorry, Ren. That sounds awful. Don't talk about... Is there anybody you can talk to, Ren? I'm not like a therapist, Ren. I have great sympathy for what you're going for. I don't really know what to say with that. But I do have great sympathy for you, Ren. We can talk about what you want to talk about. Hi, Yuki. How's it going? Good to see you. I agree. Never. Are you? Oh, what's going on? I'm not really planning to draw anything. I'm just just drawing random stuff. If people want me to draw something, I'm up for it. Oof. Oh, that's brutal, Yuke. I'm sorry that you're going through that. Oof. Oh God. I'm sorry. Ooh. I'm happy you're going to the hospital today for it. I feel bad for you too, Yuke. Yeah, good. Good. Get rid of that. That's oh God. That's brutal. Yeah, and I agree. I agree with Mr. Pratchett. I agree. That is what we should. I might be trying to write a response to Harry Potter, at mostly directly taking on Rowling's transphobia, which is why it's been on my mind lately. I can write both. It's kind of both. I'm writing both. I'm writing a response to both. I have a lot of responses to a lot of things. No, it's about the fantasy. Okay, so the fantasy stuff I'm writing has kind of started to develop, has sort of started to take on a distinctly Western vibe to it, which is sort of where I was hoping to go, because I always thought like European like style fantasy was a little overdone. And I always wanted to do like wild, Western like not West, like, yeah, yes, like stuff like the dark, yeah, it has a distinctly Western vibe to it. Yeah, yeah. What was the disaster? There's plenty of anyways, yes. Dark Tower is awesome, by the way. I know it's fun. People, it's but anyway. So basically, it's Dragon Cowboys. Anyways, it's Dragon Cowboys is kind of my basic idea. Never. That's what I'm fucking trying to do. No, Rin, we like you. Rin, we like you. Rin, I worry about you, Rin, a lot. I hope you know that. I do worry about you a lot. Basically. Never. Well, basically that mixed with a little bit of Stagecoach. With Stagecoach. No, it's not that I don't... Okay, Rin. Everybody in the world, let me make something clear. I don't check Discord all the time. I just don't check Discord all the time. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just I'm not on it all the time. I try and make sure to get done with my work, to get done with work before I check Discord. And sometimes I'm just not on it all the time. I have a little bit of a... I'm sorry. It's just... Yeah. People don't talk on my Discord all the time, unfortunately. I don't know. I try and get the discussion going there, but it's hard. You know what? I'm going to throw this out there. Pretty freaking justified. Pretty freaking justified to have worm phobia, I would say. If you aren't seeing that after what you've been going through, pretty justified in my opinion to have it. But yeah, I've been finding myself being drawn more and more to doing a more Western based fantasy, because realistically it's not that different from like the knights traveling around, the knights of old traveling around. Yeah, I do live in Texas, the greatest state in America, if you ignore most of what's going on here. Texas is the best state in America. If you judge the greatness of a nation, if you judge the greatness of a political entity by its ability to produce barbecue sauce. Yeah. No, I do that too. Rin, I will do that until like December. I will not. I won't get used to the year. And even then we have to compete with like Kansas and stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm glad they found what was wrong with you, Uke. Sorry it's something so crappy. Uke is a great artist. Oh, fuck, man. They do deserve a good comeback. In fantasy form. Hopefully. Yeah. Well, I totally already had that. Not stealing that idea. See, yay, you two are making friends. Right now, the current story funny, yeah. Funny thing is, right now, actually, the current story I'm writing is actually is a rare genre that isn't talked about as much, called the Northwestern. Have you ever heard of this? Never. It's kind of it's a subtle it's a bit of a spin-off. Yeah. It's kind of a subgenre in the Western. Yeah, it is about Canada. Of course it is. Yeah, it's about Canada had its own take on the Western with like Mounties and stuff. Yeah. Rin does a lot of voice acting. Let's see. We're at 2 hours and 22 minutes. Sorry. We're just talking about. That's not a Northwestern. I saw that. Have you seen the spin-off that's happening? No. No, that's not Northwestern. No. Very cool. Who's everybody's favorite? Oh, that's a sea adventure. They're different. Yeah. That's good. No, what? Yeah. It's a tragedy, is what it is. It's a tragedy, is what it is. Never, it's a tragedy. So, besides, yeah. Oh yeah, it's very much man versus nature. So besides that, Yuke, how are things going? I let chat during the 24-hour stream. I don't know if people who was exactly here for that. Design a character, and I'm tempted to try and do that again, but it won't be today. I'll do another stream, and I'll do another stream. It's not. I'll. You'll see the Fourth Wing response. I have something prepped. I have something prepped, and then I have the Harry Potter response, which is also something prepped. Never. You should do that. You should do. I mean that's like a one page thing of the dragons riding the humans, and it's like, yay, we're riding you. Anyways, okay, Rin, Yuki, do you guys like dragons? Yeah. Do you guys like dragons? What's your favorite like fan? Okay. I remember many things about The Simpsons. Do you guys like reading stories about dragons? I'm curious. Somebody pointed out, and this is a thing I'm fascinated by. Dragons books are not that fundamentally different from horse books. Like, dragon books and horse books are essentially the same genre. It's just one is a dragon. You just, yeah, that. Yeah, that's I know I remember that episode. Not, I believe they go to China for one of Marge's sisters to adopt a baby, and I forget which one. And then Homer gets, yeah. Okay. So we generally have a bit of a blank character here. So you guys watching anything? Yeah. Watching anything? Reading anything? Oh, sorry. I want to stay up, but I am starting to get kind of tired, guys. Let's see. I want to talk, though. I missed you guys. I do want to talk. We can go for a little bit longer. I just want to talk some more. I'm just curious what you guys have been up to. How's school? How is... Of course I did. I do need to clarify something, you guys. I do take breaks from streaming. And I do need you guys to respect that a little bit. That I do take breaks from streaming. I am a pretty consistent streamer, but I will periodically take little hiatuses to work on other things. So but it's not because I hate you. It's not because I'm mad at any of you. I like you. I wouldn't be doing this stuff. I wouldn't be doing this. We'll talk about that in a second. I wouldn't be doing this stuff if I didn't enjoy it. But yeah. But I need you guys to respect that a little bit. Okay, right. Good. You broke your bully's bones. You should break your bully's bones because of that. Proud of you. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Cade. How's it going? Yeah, and I am right now very focused on getting this draft of the story I've been working on complete. So that comes first. But I kind of felt, I don't know. I had it all set up here, and I was like, oh, screw it. Why not go on? It has been. Why? Yeah. It has been long. I mean, to be fair, Yuki, you've been going through something pretty intense. Yeah. To be fair, you've been going through a lot, and I sympathize with that. I should. If I'm consistent about it, I should. I think I can finish in like a week or two. I've got another draft I need to finish editing, and then I'm going to try and send that one out for publication, and then I've got a third one. Then I've got a third one kind of in the ready. We love all of you guys here. I'm always happy to see all of you guys here. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Yay! Ren, you deserve it. You deserve it. But, guys, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm tired today. Yuke, that sounds awful. Rin, we all care about you. You here. You're a treasured part of the community, and we all think quite highly of you. And don't get upset that my Discord is quiet. That's mostly on me for not pumping it up as much as I would like. That's mostly on me. Trust me, people like you. Everybody here wants to see you succeed. Yuke, it's great seeing you. You are going through something absolutely horrible right now, and I feel very sorry for you. But you are talented, and you are a talented artist, and people like. And people, same about you. We care. We want you to succeed, and we're happy that you're around. I'd say feel better, but that's easy to do. That's easier said than done. Cade, good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. And you're having a good time. Okay. Never. Always good talking to you, buddy. We care that you guys are doing. I care that you guys are doing well, and I hope you all have a good time. I will. What day is it? What day is it right now? I'll give a vague schedule. I will make an effort to try and stream this Saturday. I might try and stream some point in between that. But I will make an effort to get on this Saturday. Well, maybe we can do something for the 4th. Well, that's Saturday, so it'll be for your birthday, yeah. Okay. Have a good time, everybody.